people who have suffered exclusively because of someone else's sin against that faith. And sometimes it seems you don't go far in the world at all to see victims of abuse, of violence, of oppression. And then many times you can see it that these evil things, they go unnoticed, or unpunished. So we can acknowledge that, yes, there can be very real innocent victims in this world. And yet, a thing to be aware of is going from being a victim to going to having to adopting a victim mentality. So even if you look at other people who might rightly be called victims, I think you see a difference between being a victim and taking on a victim mentality. We see someone who's suffering, we want to help them if we have the opportunity to do so, but I think we do that person a disservice if we promote a victim mentality for them. Jesus does have some things to say about this topic, I think, in Luke 21 here. There's a lot going on in this conversation that he's having with his disciples. And we're going to spend most of our time focusing on verses 12 to 19 today, but we should set the scene a little bit, what Jesus is saying here. So this is happening during Holy Week. Jesus with his disciples in Jerusalem, just a couple days before he's going to go and be put to death on the cross. And as they're there, the disciples and others with him are commenting on just how beautiful the temple of the Lord is. And it was. Probably at this time in history, it was the most magnificent temple structure anywhere. Beautiful stonework, beautiful decorations. King Herod built a beautiful, beautiful structure. But Jesus says, yeah, very soon, not a single stone of this temple is going to be resting on another stone. It will all be lying in ruins. That's obviously shocking to his disciples, and they don't know, hey, when is this going to happen? What are some signs we could look for to know this is about to happen? We should get some money signs. Listen a lot. Talk about how there's going to be false teachers, false messiahs, people weighing himself. There's going to be wars, revolutions, and nation against nation, and natural signs too, earthquakes, famines, plagues, miracle signs in the heavens. And what Jesus is talking about here, all these signs, really he's talking about the twofold fulfillment. So he's talking about these things. Not only are all those signs going to happen leading up to the actual destruction of the temple in Jerusalem, that does happen in 70 AD, but he's also talking about the things that are going to happen in general in the whole period of the end. The thing that he's kind of talking about both things at once, the fulfillment and then also kind of a broader, more general fulfillment. And you can see in other histories of that time, not just the Bible, but plenty of other historical records that show, yeah, these signs, these things Jesus was talking about, they were happening in the lead up to the destruction of Jerusalem, the temple. When the Roman Emperor Titus came in after 4 years of Jewish revolt, and he had enough of it. He comes in, tears down the city and its walls, and the temple, and it still lies in ruins to this day. That also means Jesus is talking in a more general way just about things that are going to happen in the whole period of time leading up to the end. This is something that deserves like a whole other sermon to tackle this kind of stuff. But let's just say this. Realize, you and I, this is a time we're living in. We actually are living in the end times right now. All these signs that have been fulfilled, have been for a while now, is actually the end times. If you look at what the Bible's evidence is for this, what it's referring to, we have been in the end times for a long time. Because the end times is a period of time between Jesus finishing his work, rising from the dead, ascending to heaven, all the way up until he comes back again on judgment day. That whole New Testament period is the end times. That's the day you and I are living in. Just to give a simple summary there. And that's important to understand that. It doesn't mean we can expect to see all these signs, all these things continuing to happen today, and we have. And so it also means